Bemis again with Equity Real Estate, sitting here with Steve Rogers at Rogers and Russell. They're some of my preferred bankruptcy attorneys. And this, I want to talk about the Chapter 7 versus 13. We already talked about the 13. So tell me, what's the difference between the 7 and the 13, and why would you do a 7?
Yeah, so just briefly, the 7 is a mechanism for you to just kind of walk away from your debts, and there's a lot of complications about it, but you don't propose a plan, you don't reorganize anything, you just step away.
Okay.
And Chapter 13 allows you to propose a plan to pay back some debts
and kind of keep working on it. 7, you're done. So
exactly.
What happens, I want to make sure if I can get money in people's hands or keep them in the house a little longer. What happens with equity in the house?
Yeah, it's important to realize that even in Chapter 7, the house doesn't poof disappear. It's still yours, and in Utah we have a law that protects up to $30,000 of equity. So if you have less than $30,000 of equity, you could do a Chapter 7, work with Dave to still sell your home, and you don't lose your house. And in fact, all that money comes back to you.
Okay, good thing. So let's say the market's been up, so it doesn't happen so much anymore of a no equity unless there's too many debts that all need to be wiped out. So I've heard, and this is why I come to you, some attorneys go, you're done, walk away from the house. But I also know that you still have to foreclose. So tell me you've seen situations when...
Yeah, I mean, that's a big myth, is you go to a bankruptcy attorney that doesn't quite explain it properly, and you think, oh, I surrendered my house, I'm done, I walked away. I filed bankruptcy, it's gone. That's not true. The bank still has to go through the foreclosure proceedings, still has to give you notice of the foreclosure, and even give you a chance to redeem if you have money. But it also, in the Chapter 7, gives you time still to maybe jump into a short sale situation if you don't have equity, or work with the bank kind of with a fresh look. A lot of people don't know, but when you file bankruptcy, your house moves in the division of the bank. And so that's kind of an advantage, where if before they maybe said, oh, no short sale, you work with Dave, he contacts the bank, it's a different division, now you have options available back on the table.
Okay. So really, after a 7, depending, the bank will say, go ahead and sell the house, and then I would do a short sale. We've done this before. I keep people in the house an extra 5 to 6 months on average doing a short sale.
Yeah, rent-free. I mean, they're not paying anything.
If there's no equity.
Yeah, and even then, it's important because you don't get rid of the house. And so if you just walk away and don't do anything, I've had situations where the house sits vacant for a year. And if they're an HOA community, the HOA continues to assess fees against the owner. And even though you file bankruptcy, you're still the owner. The bank's slow. That's why it's important, even in a bankruptcy situation, to work with a good realtor like Dave to make sure that the bank is doing what it should do so you can move on and maybe capitalize on some equity.
Because the bank, the HOA, for example, makes an assessment, and the county or whatever can make assessments against your property.
Yep.
After you think it's been given away.
Yeah.
And then you're still going to be liable for that.
Lawn weeds, all of those things, because you're still the owner, those can still be assessed against you. And so having a good realtor can make a big difference.
So it's always kind of stay in motion and keep things going.
Absolutely.
Okay. There you go. There's some more information on 7. Again, there'll be a link on the bottom of the page. Call these guys, see if we can work something out. We want to protect you even after you get done with the bankruptcy if that's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
Thanks again.